Welcome to our Mock Interview Pro series, where today we're diving into the world of trade compliance managers. If you're gearing up for an interview in this role, you're in the right place. Let's kick things off by exploring some key questions you might face, beginning with navigating complex trade regulations. Could you tell me about a time when you had to work through intricate trade regulations to make sure everything was in compliance? This question is designed to see how you handle complex regulatory environments and whether you can ensure compliance under challenging circumstances. Here are some tips to help you craft a strong response. Think of a specific instance where trade regulations were particularly challenging. Briefly outline what made these regulations complex. Describe the steps you took to understand and navigate these regulations effectively. Highlight the positive outcomes of your actions in ensuring compliance. Share what you learned from the experience. Now, let's hear an example of how you might answer this question.
In a previous position, we encountered new tariffs on imported goods that impacted our supply chain. I took the initiative to dive into the legal requirements and consulted with legal experts to fully grasp the implications. By implementing a detailed compliance checklist for our shipments, we successfully avoided penalties and maintained smooth operations.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for Trade Compliance Manager. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Can you share an example of a challenge you faced in international trade compliance and how you tackled it? This question aims to assess your problem-solving skills in the context of trade compliance challenges. To effectively answer this question, consider the following points. Identify a specific compliance challenge you faced. Walk through the steps you took to resolve the issue. Highlight the outcome and what you learned from the experience. Emphasize your role and contributions to the resolution. Connect the challenge to improvements in your compliance processes. Here's a sample response that covers these aspects.
I once dealt with a compliance issue when a shipment was flagged for possible export violations. I worked closely with the logistics team to gather the necessary documents, performed a risk assessment, and kept in touch with our compliance department. Once resolved, I developed a training module to help the team better understand export compliance requirements, leading to fewer issues in future shipments.
Tell us about a situation where you collaborated with a cross-functional team to roll out a trade compliance program. Interviewers want to know about your ability to work in a team and implement compliance programs effectively. Consider these points as you prepare your answer. Select a project that involved multiple departments. Clearly define your role and responsibilities. Discuss the key challenges you faced and how you overcame them. Highlight the outcomes and benefits of the program. Include metrics or improvements to showcase the program's success. Let's look at an example of how you might articulate this experience.
In a previous role, I led a project to implement new trade compliance software involving IT, legal, and operations teams. My main responsibility was to ensure compliance regulations were integrated into the software. Despite challenges due to differing departmental priorities, I facilitated regular meetings to align our goals. Ultimately, we launched the software on schedule, enhancing compliance reporting efficiency by 30%.
Imagine a major regulatory change has just been announced affecting your industry. How would you ensure compliance? This question evaluates your ability to adapt to regulatory changes and develop strategies to maintain compliance. Here's how to approach your answer. Start by assessing the details of the regulatory change right away. Communicate with key stakeholders to understand operational impacts. Create a detailed action plan for implementing necessary changes. Ensure effective training for staff on the new compliance requirements. Set up a system for continuous monitoring and adjustments as needed. Here's a way you could respond to this scenario.
Upon learning of the regulatory change, I would first analyze its specifics to understand the implications. I'd partner with our legal and compliance teams to disseminate this information across departments. An action plan would be developed to ensure everyone is clear on their roles. Training sessions would be organized to update employees, and a monitoring system would be set up to ensure ongoing compliance.
A supplier contacts you about a potential customs issue. How would you handle it? This question is designed to test your ability to manage unexpected supply chain issues and collaborate effectively with external partners. As you craft your answer, keep these points in mind. Promptly acknowledge the supplier's concern and express gratitude for the information. Gather all relevant details about the customs issue from the supplier. Review your company's trade compliance policies and relevant customs regulations. Coordinate with your internal compliance team and seek legal counsel if necessary. Develop an action plan to address the issue and communicate it clearly to the supplier. Here's an example of how you might frame your response.
On being alerted to the customs issue, I would first thank the supplier for their proactiveness. Then, I'd gather all relevant information about the problem, verify it against our compliance policies, and consult with our compliance team to assess the situation. An action plan would be crafted to handle the issue effectively, ensuring operations remain compliant.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free, just grab it below.